Welcome, everybody. Welcome. I'll give it a few moments till people roll in. In the meantime, we can have some chitty chat. Oh, today has been a very interesting day. Um, I like the fact that I can naturally wake up kind of early now. It just happened, and I didn't feel tired. And I realized yesterday too. I woke up around 5:30, and I was fine the whole day. I just don't get that tired anymore, which is amazing because there was a time in my life where I was waking up late. I was not able to do much. There's a huge, you know, impact of your words and what you say you can and you can't do. Um, there's actually a thing I posted on my story. Let me get it up. It's about I'm kidding. About talking, right? And the words that you use. For example, my brother, he likes to say bro. He refers to his sisters. He has four sisters. Bro this, bro that. And I have to remind him, I'm not your brother, okay? I'm your sister. And even hi Prasengi, welcome everybody, Serenity. Even my sister, she called me bro once, and I said I'm not your brother, and it was really funny. I like correcting people like that. Call it what you want to call it, you know. But yeah, it's because words have a huge impact, and I tried to explain that to my sister because my brother was sitting there and he said that he said bro to my sister. Um, don't I like being the bro? No, I'm a lady. Okay, address me like one. The thing is, when I tried to explain this to my sister, she didn't really get it. She said they're just words. And then I had to remind her, okay, right now in this situation you think it's just words, but words have a deep impact. They're vibrations. Let me know what is the most philosophical comment that everybody needs. Most philosophical comment. Right now, shall I tell you what I learned today? I learned mind your own business. That's what I learned. Mind your own business. Don't get involved with other people's lives. First of all, they don't actually exist, right? Because it's a hologram. So the only real thing in this entire universe is you. Second of all, why are you getting involved in their business? Because look, it's a reminder for myself as well because I remember speaking to my twin sister, right? And I said, "Oh, okay. I like to have some self-reflection backwards, what are we how have I changed, what areas have I grown in, etc." And I kind of just wanted that from her, and she didn't really give me much, but one thing she said was, you don't give so much advice anymore. And I love that because I used to be a codependent. Okay, a codependent means you feel responsible for people. So when someone comes to you, they'll tell you a problem. They may not necessarily want a solution, but I was so solution based that I couldn't help it. So one thing that I love to do with friends is if someone comes to me and they're presenting a problem of some sort, asking them, what do you need me to do in this moment? Do you need me to listen? Would you like a solution? Would you like my opinion? What is it? How can I best help you? Because we think we know what someone wants. Oftentimes, we just want people to listen to us. We want to speak our pain. We want to share the things that are bothering us, and that's it. We just want you to listen. I don't want solutions. I don't want you to tell me that it's not so bad. I don't want you to compare me to other people or whatever and how this is such a small problem or whatever, invalidate my feelings. I just want you to listen. And I think this is the part where, for example, men and women in their communication, it can be a bit confusing. I read this in a book called Men Are From Mars and Women Are From Venus. he said that men are very solution based. So when a woman goes to a man and let's say she's talking about her day and work and it was particularly stressful, right? She's talking about her coworkers. The last thing she wants is advice. She just wants you to listen. But then the man doing what he thinks is best, right? He'll start advising her and then she feels that she wasn't received well. She doesn't feel comfortable sharing with her partner because that's the last thing she wanted, right? So that is that difference in understanding what we actually need. And I find that the easiest way to know what someone needs, ask them. Just ask them. Just say, what do you need? How can I help you? How can I be the best support right now? And hi Sakdish. And thank you so much, Ems. Appreciate you. Clear communication, so incredibly powerful, so important. Imagine that. Imagine we live in a world where I'm feeling something, but I'm saying something else to you. You know, I'm not able to speak my truth. It's the throat chakra, right? It's blocked. You're not able to speak your authentic truth, regardless of what it is. Because you feel that you need to impress people, that they may not accept it, that it's dangerous to share your truth. I just want to say that your tiny Binti is so cute. Thank you so much. Yes, some girls do that. Will avoid. Yes, exactly. So listening, okay, your presence is so incredibly powerful that it can just be that. You can just give your presence. I know sometimes we feel that we want to really be there for someone and we feel like we're helping them. My sister was depressed. And what did I used to do? She used to tell me, you know, about how she's feeling, and I would get angry at her. I would say, "Why don't you do this? Why do you think like this? Why do you do blah 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 blah?" And it was the worst thing I could do. Anybody could do to someone who's in that position, you know, especially if that person hasn't asked you for advice. If people come to me, like for example, I coach, right? I life coach people, so people give me their permission. People ask me, they invite me in for my advice. And I can give that to them freely. And it feels good to me because it feels well received, right? Because they asked me, they recognized that I have something of value that they would want that could help them. And then I can give that to them. But if I'm just going around giving unsolicited advice to everybody, it's going to annoy people and it's going to make me bitter because I'm a projector, by the way. Okay, so in human design, I'm a projector. So projectors are here because they can see things from a higher perspective. So let's say these are like people, okay? These are like little people. People are like arguing and doing this and doing that. And I'm here, right? Not that I'm above everybody, but I just see things from a higher angle. These people, let's say they're in separate rooms and one's thinking one thing like, oh my god, this person said this to me, and the other one's like, no, oh my god, this person said this to me, they must have meant that, they don't like me, blah blah blah, you know. But the thing is, I can see it from the top and I'm like, whoa, okay, you guys, there's just a miscommunication. You just need to communicate properly. You both care about each other and you just need to be honest, you know, about that to each other. That's it. So I can see things from a different angle and I can help people with that. But that means that when I would see people, I could, you know, they would come to me with their problems. I would want to, bonjour, ça va? You know, I would want to really help them. I would want to be a hero. Let me turn the light on. Sorry. Okay, better. You know, I would really want to help them, um, but it would just fire back at me because it would be not well received. Oui, ça va, merci. Bueno! Je regarderai le film Mr. Bean, Holiday, Vacation Mr. Bean, dans le movie Mr. Bean parlait le française, l'espagnol. Um, uh, à la femme, to a lady. It was really funny. So he'll say, she was like, oh my god, your French is great. And he was like, Gracias. I love that bit. Hi Priya, what's the right form of meditation? Okay, hi everybody coming in. The right form of meditation? I I don't know. I think with meditation, whatever works for you. You know, for example, in Nam Japana, right? In Eastern traditions, Hinduism, Sikhism, they talk a lot about Nam Jap. Nam Jap is repeating the name of God. Ram, Vaheguru, Radhe Radhe, Krishna, whatever floats your boat. Repeating it, repeating it, repeating it, just repeating it all the time. And, they say that you can pick whatever name you want, whatever name of God works best for you, the one that has the best impact on you. So that's what I would say. There is no objective right form of meditation. What works for you? What works for me is different compared to what works for everybody else. Naturally, we're all so different. It's not one size fits all. Hi, I'm new to French. Any tips? I'm doing it from an app. I je n'ai parlé le français. How do I say fluently? You know what? I'm gonna start googling these things so then I can learn more words, right? Fluently in French. Let's see. Je ne bien sûr détaché. What? No. Please tell me how to say. How to say fluent. I don't speak fluent. I don't speak fluent French yet. In French. Je ne parle pas encore couramment français. Or je ne parle pas encore très bien français. That's pas encore fluide en français. So yeah, I am practice. Like for example, right now, you're asking me about advice, and I'm trying to reply in French, which means that I have to go and search up French ways of how to speak, right? But exposure, expose yourself. Speak to people in French. Try to think in French. When I was doing A levels, I was studying French, and I would write my notes for bio and chem, like some of the words in French, so that I was revising both French and science. So work on it, etc., etc. Your accent is amazing. Thank you. Practice. Practice makes perfect. I live in England. That's why my accent is like this. And thank you, Viral Mind. Je comprends quand tu parles français. Oui! Yay! Bien. Non, non. Très bien. Très bien. Merci. What was I talking about? Minding your own business. Yeah. There's this lady, Byron Katie, okay? She was incredibly depressed. She was so depressed that she couldn't even live at home anymore. She was not a nuisance. I don't believe that's a great word to use. But it was problematic for her family for her to be at home because she was so depressed. So she got taken to a mental hospital, right? Place where people go when they're severely depressed, I guess. And she was there, and she had this thought: maybe it's my thoughts that are causing my suffering. It's because she believed all of her thoughts. So thoughts are coming in at all times, right? Imagine your mind is like the sky. The sky is open, it's vast, it's fluid, right? Anything can come in. Clouds can come in, it can rain, it can snow, it can be clear, it can be a clear sky, and then the sun will always be shining, right? During the daytime. It can be light, there can be lightning, there can be hail, all sorts. But the sky is always there. Your mind is like that, okay? That is the quality of the mind. That is the prior condition of the mind. It is clear, it is an open expanse. The weather can be likened to your emotions. So anger will come in, or even your thoughts, your beliefs, everything, right? Your thoughts and your emotions. You'll go through a state of, I feel really insecure about how I look right now. Oh my god, my hair looks weird. Oh my god, does this person even like me? Oh my god, I really want to be married right now. Oh my god, am I getting too old? Oh my god, I'm getting too fat. Blah, blah, blah. You know what? These thoughts are always coming in. We just need to watch them. Just let them flow by, right? Thoughts, your emotions, let them flow by. This is emotional intelligence. And I had made notes here, right? It was saying that most people observe their lives from a state of emotional reactivity. When you observe your life from a state of emotional reactivity, you naturally will have an unregulated nervous system. Because you active when you because when you observe from emotional reactivity, you're activating your amygdala, right? Your amygdala is the thing that processes your emotions, and it's like, oh, whoa, we need to be emotional about this, we need to be emotional about that. But when you stop observing things, thoughts and emotions, from emotional reactivity, like for example, let's say a thought comes in saying, oh, I feel so fat right now. If I can just let that be and not react to it emotionally, like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? I need to like fast like for 50,000 years, whatever. Or I could just be like, oh, okay, cool. Let it fly by. Then you activate your prefrontal cortex, which means that you go from survival mode to rest and receive. And your nervous system is incredibly important. I speak about this all the time, okay? Your nervous system dictates what you attract into your life. I'm going to make things really easy for you guys, okay? I want you to look out into your life. Think about your life, okay? Think about what happens in your life. Are you happy with the way your life is? Are you happy with the quality of people you have in your life? Are you happy with the how you feel about yourself? Are you happy with your body? Are you happy with your career, your finances, your physical health? And if there are parts of your life that you're not happy with, let's say you keep getting into patterns, right? Familiar patterns. This is usually what happens when people are functioning from their ego. So you'll see patterns. You'll date different people, but they'll be the same person. He cheated on you, he's gonna cheat on you, he will cheat on you, he will disrespect you, he will cheat, it's not the person that's the problem, you're the problem. You are the common denominator always. So I want people to take responsibility. If you want to change your life, you have to take radical responsibility. And you know what that means? That means you accept that you are responsible for the things in your life, that you hold the power. That you said to life, oh, I don't deserve this. And life said, oh, okay, you're right. You don't deserve it. Here, we're going to give you people who make you feel like you don't deserve anything, right? Or if you say, I do deserve the best, life will be like, oh, you're right. You do deserve the best. Here you go. Have the best. It's you. You write the script. Hey, I have a question. Do you believe in God? If you do, what's a guide to get comfort through God? Thank you. If you do, what's the guide to get comfort through God? Okay, do I believe in God? Of course I do. I believe that there is only God. Everything is God. This pen is God. This phone is God. I'm God. Because what is God? God is energy, okay? It is the what's the word? It's the substance that permeates everything. It's not really a substance, it's an energy, right? That is in everything. There is nothing that isn't God. So, how do I find comfort in God? I believe that was your question. I know the thing is, everything comes down to your beliefs. What are your beliefs about God? what have you been taught and what do you still hold to be true? Because what I was taught was that God was scary, God was to be feared, God is judgmental, God is emotional, God is narcissistic, God is egotistical, God wants me to just sing his praises, otherwise I'm going to be banished and I'm going to go to hell, I'm going to be burnt alive or whatever, you know? But I don't believe in a God like that. I believe God is unconditional love. I don't believe God is a being. God is not like humans. God is unlike humans. God doesn't take form, right? God is formless. So the characteristics of God give me comfort because I understand what God is now. And I know that God is wholly benign. Wholly benign, as in God is incredibly kind. When you have that belief and you're firm in that belief that God is kind. Someone just dumped me. Oh, okay, God is kind. God did this for a reason. Oh, okay, I just got laid off from work. God is kind. So, this happened for a reason. Someone just, stole money from me. God is kind. This happened for a reason. And you always accept God's will and you always go through life that God is kind, like that, So I would say that's something that brings me comfort. Just knowing that God is unlike humans, like the qualities of God, even though everybody is just an emanation of God. I was watching this series, okay? It is probably the best series I've ever seen in my entire life. I'm obsessed with it because it talks about the elasticity of reality. Reality is flexible, it is fluid. You know how I was talking about consciousness and the mind, right? And how the mind is open, it's empty. I mean, sorry, the sky and the mind, right? The sky is open, it's vast, it's empty, it's formless. Things come in, right? A different weather comes out, it rains, it snows, it hails, whatever. It's a container almost where things happen. So consciousness is like that. Wait, where was I headed with this? Consciousness is formless. So consciousness can be anything. But it is you know, it's our observation of things where we think things are rigid and stuck and not malleable, that things can only be that way. Let me go further into this. And you're welcome, Jack Huserman. I hope that I answered. I don't know if I went into detail enough, but the only thing I ever talk about is God. So this whole conversation will be about God. Okay. Um. So yeah. Okay. Okay. I spoke about timelines, right? What is a timeline? Okay, so sorry if this is off topic, that's okay, but how do you communicate with someone who gives you mixed signals in a situationship? Okay. Mm. You ask yourself, do I deserve this? I, because if someone is giving you mixed signals, then why, right? Like why would you want to continue communicating with them? Because mixed signals is a signal. It's I don't really know if I want to talk to you. I don't really have clarity. And you don't feel safe speaking to that person, right? You don't feel that, okay, yeah, we're good, this is good, there's clarity. What I would say is there are different ways in which you can approach this. You can just be straight up and say, look, which I love, honestly, I freaking love being honest. Be straight up, be like, okay, look, you give me mixed signals, right? Because the other option is just you can do both. I give you both options, okay? There are many options. There's always a solution. So, the first thing you can do to the person who's giving you mixed signals in a situationship is approach them. I feel like you're giving me mixed signals. What is it? I want this. I feel like this. How do you feel? Right? Simplest way. Yeah. Us humans, we struggle so much with it. And then the second thing you can do is think, is this reflective of my worth? Am I someone who sits here and waits for someone to communicate with me who's giving me mixed signals? You know? Like, do I not deserve better than this? Those are the two options that I can think of. If God can be anything, what makes God different from anything else? Wait, sorry, did I miss this? There's only one God, and his name is Yahweh. All of the gods are idols you cannot see and cannot hear. Interesting. हाँ जी ग्रे वाली wardrobe ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੇਖ ਲਓ या ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ ਦੂਜੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ yeah, there is only one God, I guess. If that is the name of your God, that's wonderful. Love that for you. If God can be anything, what makes God different from anything else? Well, that's the whole thing, right? We're under an illusion that we're separate from God, and that's God can be different from anything, but God is in everything. It's an energy, and so when I zoom into my hand, what do we see? I see atoms, right? And what do I see in the atoms? I see subatomic particles, right? And then we zoom in further, and then I see energy vibrating. And then I zoom in further, and there's just empty space. So you see the same thing in my hands that you do in a pen and a phone. It's energy vibrating. So if I am made up at a microscopic level, right, a super microscopic level of the same things as a pen, then how are me and the pen any different? So God is just the energy that is vibrating at that level, right, in everything. I'm Indian and raised as a Christian. Yesterday I came across the concept of Dharma and I was wondering how I can find my Dharma. Do I make sense, lol? Yeah, of course. How can I find my Dharma? How can you find? What is it that you hold close to your heart? Like, what is it that you want to, I guess, how can you help the world? What can you give to the world? You know, what are your gifts? What would bring you great joy? For example, some people they have cancer and then suddenly they want to help people who are suffering from cancer, right? And that becomes their dharma. Mine is helping people because I know what transformation looks like. I know what can be done. I know what's possible, and I can help people I can help guide people through that because I've gone through that myself. So that becomes my dharma, right? So it would be, I guess if you just ask the universe, please could you make it clear what mine is, or you'll be led. Now the fact that you've even put this intention out there that you'd like to know what it is, it will come to you. Always trust that you will be guided. Always trust that the information that you need will be given to you. I've tried that before and he didn't want to communicate since he's scared to, but thanks, that knocked some sense in my head. Okay, good. I mean, ends, sometimes things like this happen. People mistreat us. People give us mixed signals. It's not punishment, okay? It's not punishment. It's painful, I know. But it's usually happening because it's almost like a test, okay? It's a test of who are you being right now? Who do you identify as? For example, let's say there is someone who is in an abusive relationship. There's a woman, she's in a abusive relationship, okay? And she's put up with it because she has low self-esteem and she thinks she deserves this abuse. But there comes a day where something switches and she's just done with it. And she feels this irritation, like, I can't take it anymore. And at that moment, she's at a crossroads, right? It's a new identity that's forming. And there's an old identity. So the old identity will pull you back. Come back, come back. It's okay. We can take the shit from this person. We can be abused. We deserve it. Mommy and daddy did it to each other. Mommy and daddy did it to me. Or your ex-partners did it to you. You deserve it. And then there's the new identity that says, no, thank you. No more. I don't want to take this anymore. My children are watching me. What kind of a role model am I being? What standard am I setting for them? I need to change. I need to take power back in my own life. I have to take a risk. I have to leave this person. You see? So when things like this happen, it's a it, think of it as a test from the universe. It's the universe saying to you, who are you being right now? Who do you think you are, and how much do you think you deserve? Seeing that through the eyes of many but one. Well, right now I'm doing a medical program first year because I want to help people in a rough time. The pay is good too. I love that. Okay, wonderful. If that's where you feel good, and you feel like you get to help people, because when we help others, we're helping ourselves because we are everyone. There is only one, right? Ekon God. Can God send you to me? If you align with that timeline, maybe this is a timeline where God has. You just have to align your frequency to that timeline. Interesting. Get the dot off your head, and the demons will leave you alone. Actually, this protects me from demons. It's there's this thing where in Indian culture, there's nazar, right? Evil eye that they believe in. So they always say, "Oh, put a kala tilk," as in like a black dot on you, so that the negativity or like the negativity, the jealousy maybe is absorbed by that black dot. So I guess this represents that too. Also, it's for the third eye. Do you think if we remove the consequences of our actions, morality will vanish? No. You know why? Morality shouldn't exist because if your morality only exists because you think you're scared of actions. Like, for example, I know some people, like, I remember when I would talk to religious people, they would say, "Oh, um, uh, this particular person was a Muslim, and he was saying, "Oh, if we didn't have Islam, then how would we be good people?" But you don't need a religion to be a good person. You don't need you don't need karma to be a good person. You're naturally a loving, kind, generous person when you're born, right? Everybody is born with when you're just born, you're the closest thing to God, right? You've just come from God's kingdom, right? From that oneness with God. So when you look at children, children are full of ecstasy, they're full of joy and love and kindness and curiosity and playfulness. That is your true nature. That is how you're meant to be. So you naturally have these virtues within you: kindness, compassion, love, thoughtfulness, etc., etc. So morality, it's not synonymous, like it doesn't need to be there for you to still be a good, kind, loving person. I'm not going to say a good person, but like have those wonderful virtues, because otherwise you're just doing it because you don't want to get punished. Which I guess is fine, whatever, as long as you're doing it. I have a question. I'm 18 now. What's 10 best life lesson advice which you can give me? Things you learn from your mistakes. Sorry for asking too much questions. First of all, please don't be sorry. I love the questions. Just give me a second. That's what I'm here for, right? But I wouldn't be live if I didn't want to take questions. Okay, 10 best life lessons. What a wonderful question. Okay. Right, let me think off the top of my head. Mind your own business. In life, mind your own business. Don't give a shit about what other people are doing, what they're saying, what they have to say about you, what's going on in their life. Try to be there as much as you can for people, right? Listen, be present, but be in your own inner world, okay? Take care of yourself first. Pour into yourself. Number two, meditate. Meditate. Form a consistent meditation practice. Go inwards, connect with yourself, connect with the energy, with the energy that sustains you, with the energy that has made you, helped you grow from being a baby to an adult. The energy that makes your heart beat every day, the energy that pumps blood around your body, the energy that protects you, that heals your body, that tells you when there's danger outside. right? The energy that brings you love and success and abundance into your life. Connect with that. Third, I would say cultivate stillness. And this will happen with your meditation practice. Stillness is incredibly important. When you can be still on the inside, when you can be so unbothered by things that happen outside of you, you're the most powerful person ever, okay? Nothing can rock you. You won't have so much fear because you can handle it, right? Because stillness, I believe, is synonymous with emotional intelligence, okay? Because you want to be in rest and receive. You want to regulate your nervous system. You want to be calm. You don't want to be someone who's like, oh my god, this is gonna happen. Oh my god, this is gonna happen. Yeah, it's raining. You just want to be like chill. Like, yeah, all right, it's raining. Cool. Why am I being such a hater? Let it rain, okay? Okay, I missed my train. Oh my god, fine, whatever. It's meant to be. Oh, this happened. Fine, whatever. Of course, have boundaries. Someone disrespects you or like comes to, I don't know, it crosses the boundary, touches you inappropriately or something like that, hits you. Of course, then you can have that's justified, okay? But other than that, to like control your emotions, don't be so emotionally reactive, is what I'm trying to say. The next one, take responsibility for everything regarding you in your life. Remember that you are God. Remember that you create your reality. You generate your reality through your observation. So ask yourself, what attitude do I have towards life? What do I believe about life? Is life good? Is life full of joy? Is it full of peace? Is it full of people who are sad? Is it full of suffering? Is it full of beauty? How do I see the world? Because it's not about what you see, it's about how you see it that makes a difference. I don't know if I've got 10, but we'll keep going. Focus on your breathing, on your in breath. Feel it, I like to feel it at the bottom of my stomach. And the out breath, be aware of your environment. In breath, be aware of your body. Out breath, the environment. In, out. So you're rooted and grounded in your reality. This is going to help you because when, let's say, someone disrespects you, you're going to feel that disrespect in your body, okay? You're going to know, okay, a boundary was crossed and I can feel that now and I can handle it and I can deal with that situation right now, okay? Rather than a day after or 2 days after, oh my god, that person crossed a boundary. Oh my god, I didn't even do anything. I couldn't even be there for myself, you know? Trauma. People who are not grounded are more likely to be traumatized. You're more likely to suffer from PTSD because you're not grounded. So being grounded is incredibly important. Um okay. I think that was 10, hopefully. If not, I'm sure you'll get some more. And also, okay, what are you consuming? What do you listen to every day? What do you watch? What are the words that you speak? What are the thoughts that you think? What are the conversations that you have every day? These things are your pojon, right? Your pojon is what you consume, right? It's beyond food. I'm not just talking about watch what you eat. Watch what you listen to. Watch what you hear. They have such a deep impact on you. Music has such a deep impact on you. So what are the lyrics you're listening to? Because the deeper you get into being present with yourself, the more you realize, whoa, songs go on repeat. You'll be sleeping. I'll be sleeping and lyrics will be playing in my head. So I think, okay, lyrics are playing in my head. So this means that the things I listen to continue to repeat in my head, and the things that are in my mind, my thoughts, they have an impact on me. Think about it this way. You have sexual thoughts. Your body gets aroused, right? It has an impact. You had a thought and it impacts your body. So what thoughts are you having? Because they're impacting your body. And then the impact it has on your body has an impact on the choices you make. And that impacts your reality. Right? Okay. I hope that helps. I'm sure it did. Religion comes from the word religar, which means to bind back to source. Oh, I love this. I read this somewhere. Thank you so much for sharing. The prime emanation of light that's within all things. All is one, and one is all there is. There is no separation from divinity. Ashe, Ashe. Thank you, Junaid. It's a wholesome life. Yes. Mind your business. Oh, I love that you wrote it down. Thank you. Medication aligned with you, with God energy. Yep. Seem like scientist life, and you seems like scientist life, and you do. No, emotional control. I have a question. Is the point where you speak in a vid saying be like a cloud, seeing all the season and stay calm? Yes, exactly. Yeah. Because that is what consciousness is like. Consciousness is fundamental. Consciousness is what we are. Consciousness is God, okay? Consciousness is the prior condition. Before matter, before time, before space, before Priya, before YouTube, before pens, it's energy. You remember when I spoke about zooming in? So consciousness is the thing that's present if I zoom in. But you can't really see it, right? There's because it's nothingness. It's everything but nothing at the same time. So consciousness is formless. It's an open space and states occur. For example, when I'm meditating, I'll be aware. I'll be like the sky. And then a thought will come in like, oh, you should eat this. Oh my god, you ate too much yesterday. Oh my god, this happened. Oh my god, this. Oh my god, why did you eat sugar? I keep talking about eating. I don't know why. Oh, why did you wear this? And then you'll be happy and you'll be sad and you'll be jealous and you'll be disappointed and you'll be like this. And I realized that everything is a transitory state. We're constantly moving, changing states. Like the sky. Have you ever sat and just watched the clouds? You look 1 minute and there's something happening. You look away 2 minutes later and it's a completely different sky. It's always changing. But this, as like what's happening in the sky, like clouds, but the sky itself is unchanging. So connect to that unchanging part of yourself, that unemotional, unchanging, formless part of yourself. And that can be done through meditation. Hey Greg, welcome. How you see a vision? I love you. I thank you. The key to joy is to stay steadfast in the rhythm of the universe. Feelings of the conscious awareness of vibration, tune in on the right frequency. Love that. I'm actually listening to self-help improve book right now. I'm listening to 101 essays. Oh, I love that. I think I did start that, It was really good. What do you mean when you say human beings are gods? Okay, because what do I mean by that? Because everything is God, Cyprian. Everything is God. There is only one. Because you're Christian, I know you are. So I actually have some excerpts from a book called One, right? Okay, I'm going to give you some excerpts, okay? These are from scientists, people who've won Nobel Peace Prizes, people in philosophy and computer science, historians, mathematicians, okay? Okay, wait. Give me a second. Okay, look. Richard Con Henry, okay? A professor of physics and astronomy at Johns Hopkins University. A fundamental conclusion of new physics also acknowledges that the observer creates the reality. As observers, we are personally involved with the creation of our own reality. Physicists are being forced to admit that the universe is a mental construction. This is new science, okay? Recent science. Okay. A cognitive psychologist, Donald Hoffman, cognitive neuroscientists will say what's happening really is that within every hundredth of a millisecond, you're creating the 3D world around you. You're creating the colors, the objects, the motions. You're doing it so quickly and apparently so effortlessly that you think you're witnessing the world as it is. What do I always say? There is no objective reality. There is only what you observe because you generate it so effortlessly, right? So easily and so fast that you don't even realize. Okay, let's go on to some religious ones. Okay, Buddha, right? All experiences are preceded by the mind, having mind as their master, created by mind. Plato, an Athenian philosopher during the classical period in ancient Greece. Reality is created by the mind. We can change our reality by changing our mind. So, Cyprian, back to your question. You said, why are human beings gods? Well, because we create our reality. What is God? God is a creator. And if scientists, and let me continue, Hermeticism, all is mind. Everything we see and experience in the physical world has its origins in the mental realm. Manly P. Hall, a 33-degree Freemason. Physical existence is the consequence of mind in action. Okay? Where are the. Let me just get the. Did I get them all? Okay. King James Bible, Corinthians 3:16. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth within you? That's a King James Bible. Hinduism, God is seen deep in mind, as butter is obtained after churning of milk. In the Quran, in the Holy Quran, we also see that Allah is within humans, as we are told that Allah breathed His Spirit into humans. The Holy Quran, Surah Kaf 50, 16, 35. We, brackets Allah, are closer to Him than His jugular vein. The Holy Quran, 3, 119. While you believe in the scripture, all of it, when they meet you, they say, we believe, we believe. But when they are alone, they bite their fingertips at you in rage, say, die in your rage. Indeed, Allah is knowing of that within the breasts. Okay, so God is within you. God is you. You know? And I'm glad, Jack, that it helped. What can the first. What can the. I don't understand. What came the first? The Holy Trinity or the Three Murti? How does that question benefit our lives? What language do I speak? Sense, hopefully. No, I'm kidding. What languages je parle français. No, I'm kidding. Un poquito. English, Punjabi, Hindi. I can understand Urdu too. Subjective experience, exactly. The Holy Trinity is one. The Father, okay. Trimurti Brahma, two. Vishnu, three. Shiva. Okay. Wow, your English awesome. I do not speak Tamil. I live in England. We live in the time of Shiva the Destroyer. Okay. Hello, Garbage. Blessing upon who ready? Okay. And French. We un poquito. Honestly, whenever I speak French, some Spanish has to come out. I don't even know why. I haven't been to France yet, but it's gonna be interesting. I think I'm gonna read you the whole thing of Mr. Bean. Like I was talking about Mr. Bean's Holiday, a movie that I watched when I was a child. Okay. And yeah, it's just really funny. I watched it recently actually, and yeah, he was speaking French and Spanish at the same time. So yeah. But yeah, I hope that answered your question, Cyprian. About why God, why human beings are gods. The mind is everything, you know? And the mind, I'm not talking about the mind as in thoughts. There are 3 different aspects of the mind, right? I got this up. Let me get it up. Let me get the notes. Mind attributes. Okay. Okay. So, most people think that the mind equals thoughts. They think mind is the noisy narrative in the head, right? The stream of worries, the memory bank, the inner commentator. I would liken it to a parrot. The mind is like a parrot. It's so funny. When I sit there and listen to it, it's like, yeah, it's kind of amusing to be honest. Why do we believe God? Oh wait, sorry. Okay. What's 5 books, videos that changed your life? Okay, great question. One of the books that really changed my life, I would say, is okay. One of the first ones would be Dr. Brian Weiss's journey. Let me get it on. Why? Let me get it on. Okay, so. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the first books I read when I was coming onto my when I was awakening, right? It's called Many Lives, Many Masters by Dr. Brian Weiss. The second book that really helped me was The 5 a.m. Club because it taught me to wake up earlier to change my habits. The third book I would say is The Laws of Human Nature. These books are books that helped me in the preliminary stage of awakening and understanding people. Now I would say, what is the book that I'm reading a book at the moment that I'm really, really enjoying that I think everybody would really benefit from. It's called One, The Creator Within. I haven't even finished it, okay, but it's such a good book. That's the where I had the excerpts of science, of culture, of religions, bringing everything together. It just takes everything and puts it into an amalgamation of one wisdom, right? Of like one thing that everybody is trying to say. So that, let me see what else. Let me see what other books we got. Here. Oh, I like The Silence of Heart by Robert Adams. Love Robert Adams. Yeah. It depends. It just depends. Books are awesome. We can never to put them in an order of best and worst would be a sin. You know, it's an expression of people. You know. Okay. Merci, Code with Phoenix. Thank you. Sorry, my friend Priya, actually, will get busy. I will do podcasts with you for sure. That's okay. Don't worry. All in good time, okay? Divine timing. Thank you, Priya. I enjoy the live stream as always. I have to leave now. It's always a pleasure to see you and listen to you. Au revoir. Merci pour the être. I'm gonna learn more French. Make life many. Oh, make life many bastard. Is that a name of a book? The attributes of the dream world can be seen through the laws of karma. Your bright and radiant positivity. Thank you. I love Jack Useman. I love that you're writing these notes down. Bientôt. Crazy Within. That sounds interesting. Lol. Wait, are you recommending books or I didn't recommend these, did I? Shame is the chains that had kept us from truly. Yeah, shame is a chain. What about the sweet book? Oh my god, I really did enjoy that. Okay, alright, okay, let me talk about videos. Okay, the series I'm watching, okay, on Amazon Prime. It's oh my god, it's fascinating. It's called Undone, okay? Undone. It's a animated type series. It's so cool. It talks about timelines. It talks about reality's elasticity. It talks about essentially time travel and how it's possible. It explains everything, and I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed. But yeah, I love things like Sweet Bobby. I love learning about cults and stuff. Any, I, I just love learning. Okay. What's a fun fact about yourself that not a lot of people know? Oh God. Okay. Oh, okay. I recently took up belly dancing. I've always wanted to belly dance, and yeah, I recently took it up, and it's wonderful. I didn't realize how disconnected I was from my body, even though I've always really enjoyed dancing. Um, but yeah, it makes you realize how like stiff you are because I don't know about men, but women certainly hold all their emotions in their hips, and it's so important to move them. You know, I was doing a somatic flow, right? Like this sensual somatic flow as an exercise one of the mornings. And the lady said, she said, you know, these movements that are really good for women, these like the gyration of the hips, the shaking of your bum and things like that, they're really shamed and looked down upon. But these are the movements that really help you. They shake out your energy. You can heal yourself by just moving. Movement is key. you know, rather than just sitting stationary, like just sitting at a desk all day, or sitting and watching TV, or sitting in your bed, or doing this, and not having much movement in all of your body parts, especially as a woman. Like dance is so important for women. Movement is so important for us as human beings. Yeah, so it's really helped me be more in my body, be more present, move, and it feels good, you know? It feels good. So yeah, that's a fun fact. Elizabeth, I've been waiting for you for 400 years. What? Who's Elizabeth? Have you? Okay. How was your day? My day was wonderful. My day was interesting. Okay. Shall I share? I set boundaries and I felt good about it. I guess I connected with my shadow side, but in a graceful and poised way. And I was just like, you go, Priya. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. It's all the books you sent me. Wait, did. Is that what they sounded like? Because Crazy Within. What book was that? Should I write them out for you, Jack? Let me write them out for you quickly, okay? Because bless you. Thank you for trying. Okay, wait. Let me go. Where are you? Okay, wait. We'll go there. Where's my life? Britta? Email? Oh, no, that's my life from yesterday. No, 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 no. So thirsty. Okay. There she is, cutie. One, the crate. Within Kindle, many lives, many masters. 5 a.m. Club, you got The Laws of Human Nature. I, I, loads. What else has really helped me? Oh, Conversations with God. That's a really good one. By Neil Donald Walsh. True Name by Osho. Yeah, these are just some. But if you have anything specific that you need, like I want help with this, I want help with that, then just let me know. Do I have an Instagram account? Yes, I do. It's the same at as my my YouTube right now. Do you Which anime do you watch right now? Private video. The only thing I'm watching is Undone at the moment. She's with intelligent. Do you want to share your dancing skills? I'm good. I'm good, thank you. I saw Ria's video on belly dancing. It was really interesting to hear about connecting with your body. Yeah, it is, Greg. It's fascinating because it's connecting with your feminine energy, right? Um, this is the whole thing, you know, about how maybe spirituality looks different for different people, as in like for men and for women. Because for women, because they're mostly feminine energy, right? They have a creative centers, you have more feminine energy, you're meant to be more being and flowing, and that's what it is. You're kind of just like belly dancing is very like flowy and just being in your body, being present, like sensuality and connecting with that. Powerful, very powerful. It's very important for a woman to be connected to her sensuality. Oh, you did Pilates and it was painful. Yeah, Pilates is hardcore, you know? The Karma Sutra is divine. I've not read into the Karma Sutra, you know? I heard before consistency is key, now moving is key. Consistency and moving, both, you know? Procreation, is the closest to God mankind can feel. Wow. Wow. Procreation. Yeah, I guess so. Please, thank you. If I believe myself, which book can I read? I don't know. Okay, so mm, 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 mm. But yes, those are the books that I would recommend. शायरी सुनी है? कौन सी शायरी है? आप सुनाएंगे? सुनाओ हमें। बात ये है, आप लिखेंगे, हम कोशिश करेंगे पढ़ने की। पूरी कोशिश करेंगे। ओके, देखते हैं जो होता जाने। um, we get, I I'm a yogi. Oh, Jeffrey's a yogi. Nice. Yoga is to bring things together, right? A yog, to make sense of things. Should I talk more about one? I mean, Undone. Did you give? Did I give SAT? No, no, no. I live in England. I follow the. No, I'm not a yoga teacher. No, no. I mean, it's funny because I started getting into yoga 2 years ago because I was in India and I really wanted to go to, I think, Rishikesh or somewhere like that, up north, to go learn, to do a yoga teacher training course. And then I thought, okay, maybe I should actually learn yoga like a little bit before I practice trying to be a teacher, because flexibility takes time to build up. And then, yeah, I started doing yoga and I just loved it. Any sort of movement is key. There was this guy on this podcast. I wouldn't really know, is he a saint? He's just a very learned person, right? A very wise person. Um, and he was saying how movement is key. Like, for example, even before making love, move about, get your energy flowing, connect to each other. There's like a ritualistic dance that you can do. And I love that we're talking about dancing because, I mean, Greg wants to hear more about the belly dancing. From what you said, it sounded like ecstatic dance. Interested to know how the teacher approaches it. It's not really. The thing is with belly dancing, with the classes I'm taking, it's not so much ecstatic dance because it's very, okay, now this step, now this step, now this step. Um, so there's not much flow, but once you get into, look, a dance is something that is felt, right? It becomes like a natural flow. You're not really thinking about it. Or a dance to you can just be this step, now this step, now 1, 2, 3, now this step. So that's the difference. I think once I become more accustomed to it and the deeper I get into it, the more it will just flow naturally out of me rather than like, okay, quick, because it's so fast. But in the series Undone, there was the girl, the protagonist in the series, she's Mexican. And she doesn't really know her Mexican roots that well, but her she has roots in the Navajo tribe, and if you look back at tribes, right, tribes that exist now, tribes that existed, what did they do a lot of? Dancing, singing together, in a very ritualistic way. And what they said was that the lady was saying in that dance is the way that we all are connected to each other. It's a non-verbal communication. It's communicating with your body, and that's everything, because that's energy, and energy doesn't lie. If you're dancing and you feel uncomfortable, it's difficult to pretend that you feel comfortable because you can tell, because energy doesn't lie. Our mouths, our words can be misleading and lying, right? But our body doesn't lie. But yeah, dance has such a powerful history in the human species, but we've come so separate from it. Even in the show, the lady was saying, she said sometimes we have rituals that last for days. We dance for days to release things. I used to love clubbing, and one of the reasons I loved clubbing was because I love to dance. Okay, I would just go. I don't care. The alcohol, the men, the whatever was not that. Okay, it was not it. It was the dancing. It was the being with your friends and dancing and just letting loose and do whatever you want. But the thing is, it's interesting because I say to Ria, like Ria goes to the club sometimes, and she said she comes home and she says she didn't feel comfortable dancing there because now she dances at home, right? And then her dancing at home, this privacy, it's sacred. You can be free. There's no judgment. You feel safe. In a club, it's not the same thing. And I remember saying to her, Ria, you dance in a club. Women used to dance in temples. Women used to dance in temples. It used to be a very sacred thing until patriarchy and Christianity and all these things came about, and it said, dancing is not okay. It's like this, it's like this, it's sinful, it's dirty, it's impure. But it's such a sacred thing that we need to get back in touch with. I just think it's like one of my favorite things to do, to dance. आप भोजपुरी बोलते हो? भोजपुरी क्या होती है? I captivated your thought, which is evident as you deflect him and knowing the answers, please. Exactly, most modern clubs aren't in place to dance freely. Too many people on phone with phone judgments. Yes, exactly. Especially because we live in a society where sensuality, because that's the natural way a woman dances. I think that's why they didn't want that to be happening, because to Christianity, the sensuality of a woman was dangerous, right? Because they judged sex and sexuality so much. And sensuality can be like there's a close link between created or whatever, between sensuality and sexuality, right? So if you go and you want to be you're in a sensual woman and you want to be expressing that sensuality, you're inviting the wrong kind of attention, right? You're an attention seeker, you're too sexual, you're asking for it. It's okay for us to touch you or come over and make you feel uncomfortable or harass you, you know um and maybe it was just never meant to be done amongst so many men. Ma- You know, like for example, I would love to just go to a women's club. A women's sober club would be the best place. You can be free, you can be wild, you can do whatever you want because that is the nature of the divine feminine. She is wild, she's chaotic, she's untamed, she's sensual, she's erotic, she's all of these things. But she's been subjugated, she's been quietened, she's been tamed, she's been domesticated, right? But she's wild, she's feral. And women have kind of come out of touch with their power because they are like that, right? And that affects their health, that affects their sexual organs. I mean, just look at them. You can really see how connected a woman is to her power by her face. You can see it. You can see by her skin, the way her face shines, the way she talks. You can see everything, like how in touch she is with her sensuality, how happy she is. Women who are more in touch with sorry, I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Yes? Yes. Yes. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Wow. Nearly forgot that. Okay. Sorry. Um That's why I like belly dancing to ecstatic dance, not the start, but the intent of the dance. Yes, exactly. It it yeah. The thing is, I always saw ecstatic dance as more, I guess, just do whatever you want, whereas like belly dancing would come into. But it depends because that's a class I'm going to, right? I'm learning a routine. Whereas if you're a belly dancer and you freestyle, that would be ecstatic dance of some sort. I'm really interested what your guys' relationship is with dance. I used to dance all the time. Like my family are dancers. Okay. Um, when I was younger, my dad would get, we had a camcorder and my mom would be recording, and me, Ria, and my dad would just be dancing. We'd play music, we'd be dancing. My dad loves dancing. Um, so yeah, that's all I remember. Just all of us always just, you put some music on and you dance. You know, we don't really do that much now. Um, but I miss it. Dancing is like one of the best things in life. You feel free, you're fun, you're just like expressing yourself, and it's nice to do it by yourself as well. Can you please check your mobile and can you please check your mobile and tell me on my hair looking good? Maybe not right now. My God. Um, dancing and singing, right? Dancing and singing is just the best. These are the things that our ancestors did. It's so deep in our blood to be doing this, so deep in our DNA. Why do you think everybody walks around so miserable at times? Because you're not singing and then dancing. If I was singing and dancing all day, okay, maybe not all day, but maybe once all day, or every afternoon with my family and my friends and my community, do you think I could ever be depressed? Because you would shake it out, you would move it out. And energy is, I mean, emotions are energy in motion. And when you're not moving, they get stuck, they get lodged into your body. So when you move, you're moving it, you're shaking it. Um, if I come to the States, I have a friend within you. That's so sweet. Thank you. Let's get together and do that. Yes. Oh my God, yes. I'm gonna go to, I really want to go to like an ecstatic dance thing. I actually did this, guys. I went to this spiritual kind of conference thing, right? And they had loads of different people there from spiritual backgrounds, like tarot card readers and keyton players, and someone talking about sacred sexuality, and then somatic dance and gongs and sound bowls. And me and Ria did the somatic yoga flow, and it was the best. Felt so good. You just feel so like sensual and sexy and within your power, and there's so much like, I don't even know, like ferocity in one that we just don't see. There's so much in us, but it takes the right condition for that to come out, and then you look at yourself like, whoa, is that me? Stop being hard on yourself. Am I being hard on myself? I can tell you haven't had true love. Oh God. Thank you, I guess. No, I don't know what to say to that. I'm not so hard on myself anymore. I'm not. I love myself. I'm freaking amazing. Okay. My insecurities are what others envy. Interesting. That's sweet of you to say. Thank you, Joffrey. Hi, do you like mathematics? What do you think about the line of symmetry in art? Do I like mathematics? I didn't used to. I don't dislike it. I love art. Maths is the language of the universe, right? Because music is frequency, right? Music is frequency, it's vibration, it's sound. And that's what the universe consists of: music, vibrations, frequency, sound. And what comes into music? Maths. So, maths, sacred geometry, music, all of these things are very interconnected. Everything is very interconnected. So, the line of symmetry, I don't know what that is. Just symmetry? Is that it? I don't know. But yeah, I really want to go to like an ecstatic dance place where everybody is just not concerned about how they sound or how they look, and they're just expressing themselves freely. We're too bound, we're too uptight at times. Maybe that's just, see, there is no objective reality. I have to remind myself of that. So when I say that, that's just a reflection of me. I'm too uptight, I guess, at times, and too rigid and not so like flexible and fluid. And being flexible and fluid and open and empty and expressive is being godlike. That's God, right? God is very open and expressive and A line of symmetry is an imaginary line that divides a shape into two identical halves that are mirror images of each other. So interesting. I've never particularly shared an affinity for it, nor the opposite. So I guess it's wonderful. It is fascinating. I've always admired confident dancers. I actually love dancing, but my shyness always holds me back. What about you, Priya? Can you dance in public, or are you shy like me? I'm definitely not shy. I love dancing. I love sharing um my dancing. I always wanted to perform. I guess that's like a shadow. um yeah, I always wanted to be like a dancer. I will be. Watch your space. I'm gonna start posting dancing videos. Belly dancing videos are coming, okay? But yeah, I've always loved dancing at parties. You best believe I'm the first up. Um, I love all sorts of dancing. I like. Uh, I'm happy being in public, being watched dancing. Um, yeah. Am I Russian? No. You passed upon love in order for the caste system. Not okay. That's separated man. The caste system. Not a problem, I can do both dance. I can both dance well and sing well, but I am too shy to do it all. I do it home alone. Oh, I love that. Hey, as long as you do it, perfect. Your face has great symmetry. Thank you. I see you read the comments out loud uh, as you are reading other statements. Okay. I don't know what to say to that. Just love dance. I love that we're talking about it. I love people who can dance. I love confident dancers. The thing is with dancing is the same as singing, okay? Everybody can sing, everybody can dance. Maybe you can't do it how people who are, in the profession of dance do it. But who's to say that only that qualifies as dance? Any kind of movement that you like, you have that you express it, that's enough. That's more than enough. That's everything. It doesn't have to be perfect. Why? Screw that, okay? Just dance, be free. It doesn't have to look like anything. I think that I used to put pressure on myself as well. I used to, be shy or conscious about how I danced. But when you really just get into your body and you don't care, it's not even worth it thinking about what other people think. Who cares? Who cares? Okay. What am I studying? I'm not studying anything. Life, myself. I'd love to hear you talk more about objective reality. I know you've discussed this a few times on the last lives. But I'd like to hear more about putting that understanding into practice. Okay. And thank you, young Dylan. Thank you so much. Welcome. So good to have you. Okay. Objective reality. Well, like, I just had that moment of reflection, right? I had this thought, oh, society's really frigid. Society, not frigid, rigid and structured, and we're so uptight. We don't like to dance. But, Priya, society doesn't exist. There is nothing outside of you that exists. There is no economy that exists right now. There is no government that exists right now, right? It only exists if you take your observation there. If I constantly watch the news, if I constantly read about the economy and blah, 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 only then does it exist. I don't think about the economy. I don't think about politics. I don't think about the government most times. I guess I do think about society. But I'm society. I decide what society is like, because I may think society is rigid and uptight, but you may not. But my truth is the truth, right? My way of seeing it is the reality, because reality is subjective. So in that sense, I think reality is rigid and uptight, because that's reflecting an aspect of me. So what I would love to do is hold a mirror. You know how he was talking about the line of symmetry? It fits really well, because let's say a line of symmetry, okay? Let's say my reflection is there, and the mirror represents that line of symmetry, because it's two halves but we're the same thing. Just a mirror reflection, okay? Pretend this is a mirror. The way I look out into the world, right? I'm like, oh, there's that, there's that, there's that. But the world is a mirror. The world is just showing me. My opinions on dance, on society, on the government is just showing me back me. There is no objective. Everything is just a mirror. So that's why I always say, be responsible for everything. Take accountability for everything regarding you. Even what you think society is like, that's a you problem. Change what you think it is like. Observe something different and you generate something different. Does that make sense? You thought about me thinking about you. Thinking. You thought about me thinking about you thinking of me. It's interesting. Um okay. Yeah, so look, like I said, if you ever have a problem, I'm not even gonna stay just at a problem, because why are we just gonna, you know, delve deep into that realm? If there's something negative in your um reality, use it as a mirror. Okay, what does this say about me? What does this say about me? But you know why? You'll be the most powerful being, because you understand that the power lies within you. You are the creator. It's not there's a I'm a victim and oh my god, because if there was an objective reality, we'd all be victims. 100% we'd be victims, because it would be, oh, okay, there's an objective reality, economy exists, the government exists, blah 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 blah, all these things exist, and I'm at the mercy of them all. I'm at the mercy of the Illuminati, of the Freemasons, of my family, of the trauma I experienced when I was young, of my pet cat looking at me weirdly. She scratched me. How dare she? I'm such a victim. It takes away your power. So when you understand that it's subjective, you take back all your power. You go into God mode. And that's the best place to be. It's the truthful place to be. Because, like I said, everybody says it. Science, different religions say that it's mind. The world is all a mental construction. They wouldn't say that if an objective reality existed. It's your mental construction. You're the one writing the script. Hey, Raj. K. Oh, I forgot your name. Your name's Guru something, right? Guru. Welcome. When women play with their heads, true. Only stream we love to join is yours, but sometimes workload is too much or parts is. Oh no. Hi, what's your name? Priya. That's my name. Priya. In this lifetime, it's Priya. Awesome narration and explanation. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad that it made sense. It really helps lighten the load, so to speak. In the series Undone, okay, it's interesting because the protagonist in that series, she is said to be schizophrenic. It's a really interesting topic. So schizophrenia is hearing voices and seeing things, right? Maybe to us normal people, right, quotation marks, it seems that it's a mental disorder. But what if it's not? What if they can truly hear and see the things that they're seeing? Like shamans and priestesses. That's what it touches, because the girl in the series, her grandma was a shaman, but everybody said that she was crazy because she could see and hear things, and that society wasn't able to hold that, be a safe container for her. So I think she committed suicide, maybe she died somehow. So everybody is at a different level of consciousness. They have different conscious abilities, right? Like psychic abilities. And sometimes, because what we've done is we've normalized no psychic abilities, right? I feel that if you have a psychic ability, oh, it's woo woo, it's not real, you're fake. Of course, some people do imitate it, and it's not authentic at times because they're just pretending, right? But some people really do have them. Of course, they do. Everything is possible. So in that series, it's interesting because her awareness is within her, and then she has a fight with her boyfriend, and then her awareness goes into her boyfriend, and she can see her boyfriend's life experience. And I just thought that was so fascinating because sometimes we can be really mad at people. We can really judge people. I'm not justifying their behavior, but if we really went into their life experience and saw, we'd have much more compassion. We'd have a higher level of awareness, right? Um, First time I see you looking amazing, so clever. Thank you so much. I'm not gonna lie, your English is good. Why, thank you. The power is within me, within my circle drawn to protect you. Thanks. You felt my energy. I think I feel slightly differently about it as I have children. My kids are totally part of my subjective reality. I do not feel they're outside of my reality. They're a whole part of it. Um, mm, 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 mm. Let me think about that one. They are a part of it, of course, because you observe them, right? They're in your lens of observation, and your consciousness is generating them in your reality, right? So when it comes to things like that, like for example, your family members, of course, they're in front of you, right? So you interact with them. There's that connection. Um, but things like systems, like the economy and society and the government and people, what will people say, and things like that, those are just formed by you. And to a different extent, even your everything is being you're a projector, and you're projecting out everything. Does that make sense? You're the projector. There is no other projection happening. You're the source of the projection, is what I'm trying to say. If eyes are gifts of parents, is vision that of God or self? If gifts are eyes, if eyes are gifts of parents, is vision that of God or self? Oh, I don't think I understand the question. Is vision that of God or self? Is motivation self-driven? Everything in life, everything is God, right? So it would just be God. Even it seems like they're gifts from your parents, but it's God because they're God, right? Don't be insecure. I've never liked you. Oh my god. How to ensure we have an understanding, awareness, and patience. Your reality, well, your 3D physical world outside of you will reflect that. You'll be able to know. Okay, someone said something to me. Did I get mad? Could I hold space? How did I feel on the inside? Was my nervous system regulated? Did I react from a place of emotional, reactivity and emotional instability? Or was I calm, like an ocean, just able to see everything clearly? That's where you can oh, how to ensure, but I mean, I guess that's a way of checking whether you have it. How to ensure that you have it? It's a practice, right? It's every time, let's say that you get into a situation and you do not exercise understanding, awareness, and patience. Next time a similar situation happens, because that's usually what happens, right? patterns, things keep occurring, karma, consequences. And then next time it happens, before you react, you just have that moment of, I'm going to make a different choice today. And then you make a different choice. And then you enter a different timeline. When that now may become your baseline because you act like that all the times. And then your neural pathways have. नहीं अजय क्यों है यार क्या मैं थारे टिकट ते लिखे अपना मम मैनू की पता Jason, can you open this door please? Let me talk to him. Sorry. Can you open the door please? Thanks. Hold bolo. What happened to mom? I don't know. She's asking about her ticket or something. Is it today? I know she's got the war, Jason. Oh. I don't know. Just tell her it's on her ticket, please. Do you want to say hey? Come. Okay, bye. The topic is unbeknownst to me at this current time. It has fleeted my conscious awareness. Oh, it was about understanding, awareness, and patience. Am I Malayali? I am not. If you were given a choice, what system of governance would you prefer? One that encourages individuals to take full responsibility for their actions rather than blaming external forces. Well, the thing is, if you have a system of governance, you're already giving responsibility to someone else. Let me explain. How many people sit there and blame the government for things? Oh, it's the government. If a different government comes, if we just have the right vote, if everybody just votes, then maybe situation won't be the way that it is. But that's you giving away your power. You're a slave. They always talk about it. One thing that it always comes down to is the Nazis, right? I know many atrocities have happened in life, but the Nazis is something that was memorable to me from history when I learned about it, partially because I watched The Boy in the Striped Pajamas and it freaking traumatized the shit out of me when I was a child. I don't know why they would make me watch that, but apparently you should watch that, okay? I'm done complaining. So yeah, how did so many people commit so many crimes against people? Like these normal people did this to other people. How? It's because de-individuation took place. There is someone who's willing to take the fall, someone who says, I'm giving you orders, do it. And then you do it. But if I said to someone on the street, okay, you need to come with me, we're going to go gas some people, or you're going to gas some people by yourself and you're going to get the blame if anything happens, you're probably not going to do it, right? Slave mentality. We love being victims and blaming other people. We love giving away responsibility. We don't want to be conscious and we don't want to be held accountable for the the responsibility of the evolution of our own consciousness and our own decisions. So it's easier to say you got traumatized by your parents. It's easier to say that your partner abused you. It's easier to say that society is bad, people are bad, government is bad, your dog is bad, food is bad, whatever. The healthcare system is bad. Just blaming everything rather than taking responsibility for your own actions. So I wouldn't even have any government system. I can govern myself. What am I, an animal? um, mm, mm, mm. If action is karma, then inaction should also be karma. Is karma driven by consciousness? How to direct all our karma towards our goals? Um, I don't know. Karma. What do you mean by karma? Because the way I understand karma is you do something, like you take action A and it leads to the consequence B. You do C and then it goes to D. So like that. And that usually happens if you want to change. It's kind of driven by consciousness. Everything is, right? Consciousness is fundamental. It's the source of everything. Um, how to direct outcome? I'm not sure about that. There is no such thing as truth. Everything is interdependent. It's all perspective. Fair. I am the way, the truth, and the life. The power of the government is seen through the freedom of each man and woman. No one goes to the Father except through me. You look like a... Okay, thank you. Welcome back, Jack Huseman. I have the same birthmark. Ma'am, hello. The government can't do the one thing it's meant to maintain law and order. They twist the rules so that the elite gets away. The government never matters. They're all the same. Okay, should we break down what government means? It means mind control. Let me get it up. Let me get it up. The etymology. बताती हूँ मैं आपको. So yeah, to govern is control, and then ment is mind. So government is mind control. Also, look, the government is there not for the reasons you think it's there. I read somewhere that war, if there was no war, we wouldn't need a government. You know? So people used to live in smaller societies, right? Communities. They didn't need governments. They could just handle their shit, you know? Fairly. With love. With equanimity. Okay. Very true, Greg. Yeah, its government it has have a misleading name. They are not governing anything. They are just separate entities, like a business carrying out their actions to satisfy themselves. Exactly. Exactly. That's it. That's it. They don't care about you. It's like university. University doesn't care about educating you. It's a business. It's all a business. The prison system, it doesn't care about reforming you or punishing you. It's about making money. You know? It's all a business. So you have to look out for yourself. You have to think for yourself. Don't allow others to think for you. Trust your inner guidance. We were speaking about this yesterday, right? Everybody comes with their own built in GPS that will take them where they need to go. They just need to trust it rather than trusting things outside of them. Believing what other people tell you, telling you where to go, what you can do, what you can't do. They're just aspects of you that believe you can't do it. So, okay, if someone is rude to you, they speak limitation over you, they are mean to you, that is an aspect of you, okay? That speaks to itself like that. Being reflected back to you in someone else. So they're not the problem. They're reflecting to you what you already believe to be true about yourself because you get triggered. Why do you get triggered if it's not the truth? There's something within you that believes it's true. Otherwise, it wouldn't have showed up. And if you don't get triggered, you don't believe it's true. So you wouldn't, they're irrelevant. But if someone comes to you and people are speaking well over you, they're praising you, whatever, they're reflecting greatness back to you, that is also you, that exists within you. That's you praising you, you know. Joffrey, I'm not sure. I don't know where you're going with this. I, I'm glad you feel something. You know. Oh my god, my back. Oh my god, Kevin, please stop telling me I look like a Malayali girl. Khalas, Habibi. Khalas. No more. So, if you prefer society without government, who then will protect your rights from being. Sorry, I just need to crack my back. Ah, nice. Um, so, if you prefer society without government, who then will protect your rights from being violated without a government system? I just want to observe a reality where my rights are being violated. I'll be in a timeline where they're not, where I'm respected, I guess. So, you know, I'll handle it. A knife sharpens a knife, you know? I can't expect, and I don't expect, and I don't want life to just be very, um, ooh, just easy and in my comfort zone. You know, I want to be pushed. I want to grow. I want to see what else I'm capable of. Your best spiritual experience. My best spiritual experience. Isn't everything a spiritual experience? Because we're spiritual beings having a human experience. Mm, oh, okay. Ah, I don't think I want to share it. Yeah, I don't want to share it. Wow, yeah, Greg. I think that the question in itself shows that we have been pushed into a system that gives us no other choice, making us slaves to a system, maybe. Yeah, exactly. You know, the government itself violates our rights with things like censorship. I can't play the games I want unless I use a VPN. That's not fair. Not just that, so much. The thing is, look, you know, the government works with, like, for example, different companies. The government is a business working with other businesses to make you dependent upon them and other businesses. For example, the government probably works with pharmaceutical companies, right? They work with pharmaceutical companies. They allow people to pump poison into your food. You eat that food, you need medication, and then you rely on the pharmaceutical company. It's a chain. Then you rely on the healthcare system, right? Um, things like smoking cigarettes, for example. Why is that not illegal? Because someone's making money from it. Alcohol is one of the worst drugs in the world. It is the most probably catastrophic drugs in the entire world. Pharmaceutical drugs are are up there too. These are just normal things that, like, if they really cared, wouldn't they not say no, people don't drink alcohol, it's not good for you. Don't take so many medications, it's not good for you, right? Could a capitalist government's whining rich and poor gap lead people to lose faith in religion and believe happiness comes? I AJ, if you believe that that could be true, then it will be true, right? There is no objective reality. There's only what you believe and what you don't believe and what you decide to observe. What are we talking about? We're talking about loads of things about life. It's mostly, I guess, if I had to put it into a niche, I mean, yeah, like a category: self help and self improvement, consciousness, awakening higher consciousness, etc. Uh, what does it indicate? Wherever I go, suddenly there will be a flood of people crowd there. If I visit a shop, which is his house, suddenly gets flooded with customers. I've observed this a lot. Oh, I know what that means. That means that you bring abundance to places. Yeah, that's what that means. I heard that there was this girl that was talking about that. She said she was saying how women women are Lakshmis. Lakshmi is a goddess, goddess of abundance. Um, so when you revere the feminine, when you pour into the feminine, you naturally have prosperity in your life. So that's what she was talking about, but I guess you have it too. Yeah, she said whenever I would go into a shop, loads of customers would come in and the shopkeeper would say, "You're so lucky for us." Whenever you come in, so many people come in. So it's that luck, it's that energy that you have that attracts people, I guess. I have been to Central Asia, yes. Yeah, you smell good. Life is beautiful. Yeah, mindfulness and stuff like that. Yes, life is beautiful if you perceive it to be beautiful. Lakshmi, love that. You're my favorite person. That's sweet. I'm more than just. I'm not a vegan, and I do work as a life coach. So if you'd like to work with me one on one, my um like how you can contact me is in my bio of YouTube. I can put my email address in if you'd like to contact me on here as well. Okay, the government is bad. We've established that, but which country's government is the best right now, in your opinion? Probably one led by a woman. And I'm not being biased. If we look at the facts, the stats, they're not causing any issues. They're not engaging in war. They're not bombing other countries. So probably, yeah, them. Or somewhere like Spain, because Spain lets women on their period have time off, which it shouldn't even be like I shouldn't even have to be applauding that, but I guess I live in a world where I have to applaud that. So yeah, Spain. I don't really know much about different governments. I'm not into politics. Um, there is a tattoo on my chest. Yes, it says Nirpa in Punjabi, which means fearless. Which countries in Central Asia have you been exactly, and which ones were you? I've only been to India thus far. Yeah, was I? Yeah, I guess I was satisfied traveling there. I love it. I love India. There's just so much to see there that I need to give it time to, you know. See. So you're fearless. I guess I am. Some people find the rain to be uncomfortable, but yet find comfort the flower it creates. Wow, deep. Sorry, but women politicians are not tough on crimes. Someone like the president of El Salvador is the best in my opinion. You know, how about this? Rather than punishing criminals, which gets you nowhere, which perpetuates a toxic cycle, which feeds into the capitalist system of feeding into the prison system, why not take the people who are troubled. Let's not call them criminals. Let's not call them inmates because that is objectification. Let's take human beings who are clearly troubled in life and help them and come together for them and support them. What about that? Rather than saying, I'm going to lock you up and throw you away and dehumanize you and then expect you to come out and be a very good citizen and be grateful that you're not locked up like an animal and expect you not to act like an animal. You know? मैम मैथ्स बहुत बहुत टफ लग रही है। अच्छा जी। मुझे भी लगती सी। अब वैसे को ओके अपनी वर्डिंग चेंज करो आप बोलो मुझे मैथ्स बहुत आसानी से समझ आ जाता है ओके। No, I've not been to Ramana Ashram. No, not yet. Not yet. I will go. I will go. It's interesting that government comes up in this conversation. A lot of people are actually drawn to hear talks on spirituality and truth because they need to escape the cage of governance. Yeah, that's true. It's true. Because it's such a limit. It puts so much. It's government is deeply entrenched in our being, right? To some extent, the way it is, the things, the laws, the rigidity of it, the inflexibility of it, the dominance of it. It's just overarching, just in your face at all times. And people just want to get away from that. That you want liberation. You want. You, I think deep within our hearts, we know what's the truth. We know what the like life should be like, full of freedom and limitlessness and formlessness and do whatever, like. But India is not Central Asia. Oh, is it not Central Asia? My current thoughts about Uzbekistan, I don't have any. We're talking about Uzbekistan and my current thoughts, and I don't have any. I don't know. I'm sure it's a wonderful country. It is if I believe it is. So yeah, it's a. My mom usually watches videos on YouTube. Is it Uzbekistan? It's Uzbekistan or Kyrgyzstan or Afghanistan, somewhere where people are living in natural, like, wildlife. They have homes, but they live in nature, like on mountains and stuff. And then it's really wholesome videos of them cooking food, like organic food that they've grown, and they're drinking water from springs and making it, and they're feeding their kids, and it's a whole feast, and it takes hours, and it looks so beautiful. So yeah, I'm sure it's wonderful. I'm not studying has amazing produce. Yeah, I'm sure it has amazing fruit and produce. Have you seen the people there? They look amazing. Their skin is glowing. They look so happy and fulfilled. Um, yeah. What am I studying for? Not much. Share your views about veganism. I don't have any. I just can't do it. I like ghee. I don't want to use seed oils. I use ghee to cook food, so I can't be a vegan. And it's really interesting, this veganism thing, because when I speak to people, especially obviously I'm Indian, so people back in the day, my mom, like, and generally what I hear, the common talk is people back in the day used to be really healthy and really strong and really powerful. And one of the reasons was because they everything was natural, and they had a lot of, they would eat, like, for example, a lot of ghee and drink a lot of milk, and they always say that this leads to you being stronger. So I don't know, it's confusing because everyone's just like veganism, you know? What's the secret behind a normal life? Is it just having a normal mind and being what's normal? What's a normal life? What's a normal mind? you know? See you, Raj Tony. ऊपर से मास वाली मैम भी बहुत स्ट्रिक्ट है. आय हाय सात्विक जी, क्या होगा आपका? कुछ नहीं होगा, बस आप पता क्या करना आपने? आप अपनी मैथ्स टीचर को इमेजिन करो, ठीक है? ते उनको जो भी आपको लगता है अभी उनको उनके पास है नहीं, खुशी नहीं, पार्टनर उनको दुखी कर रहा है या वो शादी कराना चाहती, जो भी है, ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਹੋਪਫੁਲੀ ਯੂ ਅੰਡਰਸਟੈਂਡ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ, ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਮੀਆਂ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਨਵਿਜ਼ਨ ਕਰੋ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਕਮੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਪੂਰੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ, ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟਨੈਸ ਗਈ ਬਸ. I do not know Yogi Ram Surat Kumarji. I've never heard of him prior to this. Um, See you, Greg. Oh my god, you're going to in April. Wow, I'm excited for you. It's gonna be amazing. To Delhi as well. I can't wait to see the pictures and hear about your adventures. It's to do with what you talked about before, the broken chain. All religions are based on hypocrisy, so it's all government. Okay, guys. I think it's time for me to go too. It's been an absolute pleasure conversing with you all. Thank you. Namaskar.